Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Well, good morning. It is Thursday, January 11th. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Jonathan Church, the Arundel County's deputy state's attorney, resigned earlier this month. Church was embroiled in a dispute between the Housing Authority of the City of Annapolis and the Annapolis Police Department. The police had requested a roster of public housing residents, and HACA refused. The police department then obtained a grand jury subpoena. HACA moved to quash the subpoena, and it was ultimately withdrawn. However, the controversy has surrounded the legality of the document and possible abuse of the grand jury system. Church was the representative from the state's attorney's office that did present the subpoena to Judge Clavins for his signature. Harford County is joining Arundel County and Baltimore County in plans to sue drug manufacturers as well as prescribers in response to the number of opioid overdose calls. Harford County lagged well behind Arundel County with only 80 deaths in 2017. On the political front, Rushern Baker, and by the way, you should go listen to the interview we did with him on the Maryland Crabs last year. He is number 2 in a new poll for Democratic candidates for governor. The number 1 candidate, the undecideds. But he is decidedly ahead of his next competitor, which would be Baltimore County Executive Kevin Kamenetz and former NAACP President Ben Jealous. They both came in at 14% versus Baker was at 24%. A feel-good story from up in Arundel Mills. Rush hour drivers near Arundel Mills Mall spotted an injured owl on the road yesterday. Maryland Natural Resources Police say the owl was seen in the right-hand lane headed eastbound, and they started getting calls at about 7:51 yesterday morning. Minutes later, an officer identified as Corporal Lanthram, an avid birder, arrived on the scene with the Arundel County Police detective, grabbed the barred owl and held it in the patrol car until another officer could get there and take it to a veterinarian. The owl may have been hit by a vehicle, but should be able to be released back into the wild, so that's good news. Speaking of things in the wild, the Severn River Bridge, the multi-million-dollar Severn River Bridge project, is on track to be completed by Memorial Day. According to Greg Slater, administrator of the Maryland State Highway Administration, quote, that project is actually slightly ahead of schedule today. The half-mile bridge on US 50 will be widened from 6 lanes to 7. A 4th travel lane is being constructed on the eastbound side, and the 4th lane will act as a transition lane connecting the on-ramp from Rowell Boulevard on one side of the bridge to the Maryland Route 2 off-ramp on the east side of the bridge. So it'll be interesting to see how that traffic ends up flowing. If you're not feeling well, it could be a dose of the flu because the flu is now in full swing across more than half of the United States, according to the CDC. Nationwide, the number of people seeing their doctors for flu-like illnesses spiked in the last week of December, including in Maryland and Virginia, where the rates of reported flu-like illnesses is now categorized as high. The CDC does classify both Maryland and Virginia as widespread in terms of an influenza outbreak. For more information on treating and how to avoid the flu, we've got a good article on eyeonannapolis.net from Evolve Medical Clinics. And if you don't know about them, check them out too. They've got lots of good information. BWI's international expansion continues, or should I probably say resumes. Icelandair will add 4 weekly round-trip flights to Reykjavik, Iceland, starting on May 28th. The airline had previously been at BWI, but they pulled out in 2007, so welcome back Icelandair after a decade. Eastport favorite restaurant, Blackwall Hitch, is opening up another one in Baltimore this time. They plan to open up on the first floor of the former Candler building at 700 East Pratt Street. And according to Derek Fink, who's the chief operating officer of Mid-States Management Group, he says, quote, Baltimore has a lot of great restaurants, a lot of tourism down Pratt Street. We feel like this location will attract a lot of folks from the city as well as surrounding jurisdiction. Fink said they tentatively hope to have it open in October. The new place will be 10,000 plus square foot. We'll have a mezzanine, 2 bars, outdoor seating, and approximately 350 seats. That joins with other Blackwall Hitch restaurants in Alexandria, Virginia, and Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Ladies and gentlemen, if you shop at J. Crew in the Annapolis Mall, which is located down near Nordstrom, better get there soon because that store will be closing for good on January 27th. A little bit of a bummer, but the mall's kind of in a little bit of a funk. Remember, Lord & Taylor will be closing very shortly as well. Coming up, we've got some sports from Kevin Chaney and ShellBack Sports, as well as George Young and your local weather forecast from DMV Weather. Stick around.
Hi, this is Arundel County Executive Steve Shue. It breaks my heart to see families destroyed by the trauma of addiction. That's why we're doing everything possible to fight heroin and prescription drug abuse. If you are a parent, talk to your kids about the dangers of prescription drugs. If you are struggling with addiction, now is the time to get help. Go to denialisdeadly.org or call 410-768-5522.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George from DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast for Thursday, January 11th. The next 7 days of weather across Annapolis and all of Anne Arundel County will be a week of let's see just how much different weather we can fit into 1 week. For today, we forecasted a target high temp of 48 degrees for downtown Annapolis and 49 at BWI Airport as some warmer air comes into the area ahead of a storm that will move northeastward but to our west, bringing us showers in the PM hours today and tonight. Then we not only get more rain on Friday from this system to our west, which will ultimately bring a cold front through our area, but we also get up to or maybe even above 60 degrees for highs, well above our average for this time of year. Then Saturday, it's back down to around 50 degrees, still above average for high temps, and we could see some showers and clouds linger through much of the morning hours on Saturday, but it should not be a totally gray, washed out day by any means. And then a cold front moves through later in the day, Saturday and overnight into Sunday, setting us up for a Sunday in which high temps are only 30 to 35 degrees. Same cold high temps Monday, then more cold Tuesday and Wednesday, plus we get a couple of chances of small snows around here with some Alberta Clipper-style disturbances moving through in the skies above, and by next Thursday, we're looking at high temps of 25 to 30 plus degrees again, with low temps all week effectively in the 15 to 25 degree range, possibly refreezing many of the lakes and ponds and rivers around the region that we've seen frozen for the last week or two, but will almost definitely thaw out a lot, if not totally, in a big way with the upcoming rain and warmer temps over the next few days. Bottom line, get ready for a little bit of just about everything outside over the next week, and be sure to keep a jacket, umbrella, shovel, and ice scraper nearby so you're ready for it all, and maybe mix in a hat and some gloves as well. Okay, that's it for us today. Be sure to download our free weather app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store on all of your devices by searching for DC MDVA Weather, and follow us on our website at dmvweather.com or on Twitter or Facebook so you can always stay weather informed. This is George Young of DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast. Remember, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
Did you know that more than 1,200 mental health patients had to be transferred last year by AAMC to facilities outside our area because these facilities do not exist right here in our own area? Denim and Diamonds is a fabulous, fun evening under the stars to support expanding mental health care in our community. AAMC Foundation proudly thanks RxNT for their generous $50,000 exclusive presenting sponsorship. Get more info at AAMCDenimandDiamonds.org.
If you're looking for local sports, it's right here, right now on the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief.
Hey guys, Kevin here from ShellBack Sports with your look around the county. Starting first with boys varsity basketball, North County High School beat South River 56-48. Old Mill beat Annapolis 65-56. Northeast at Broadneck won 75-68. Glen Burnie beat Arundel 48-46. And Chesapeake beat Severna Park 63-57. Over to girls varsity basketball, Severna Park beat Chesapeake 49-38. Broadneck beat Northeast 53-42. Glen Burnie topped Arundel 57-56. South River beat North County 63-33, and Old Mill beat Annapolis 73-19. In the NFL, Baltimore Ravens head coach John Harbaugh has decided to keep offensive coordinator Marty Morningweg and has promoted linebackers coach Don Wink Martindale to defensive coordinator over candidates Chuck Pagano and Jack Del Rio. That's all I got for you today, guys. Make sure you're following me on Facebook at ShellBack Sports, and make sure you're following along on Twitter at K Cheney Sports.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at noon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.